Happy June, everybody in the Idaho Falls area and beyond. Welcome to Chat with Chris. I'm coming to you by video today. And I'm here today, I wanted to focus on talking about interest rates and how they affect you. If you are following along with the market, you're probably currently buying or selling a home and you're a little piqued to the idea of interest rates. So if you are not, or if you're planning to buy or sell a home sometime later this year or next year, now's the time to start paying attention to the market, both locally and nationally in the financial news. This week, on Wednesday, June 13th of 2018, the Fed hiked rates once again for the second time this year, another quarter point. And that's actually marks the seventh time since 2015 that the Fed has hiked rates. Now, since the recession, we've been in a declining interest rate environment. So now we are clearly just in an inclining rate environment. This will affect you both as a buyer and a seller. Obviously, as a buyer, we can all imagine because your payments are going to go up, but it affects you as a seller as well. And I just wanted to go over a few of the reasons why that is. So first of all, I want to talk about affordability. We've all heard that there's a limited inventory in the market right now. Buyers are competing to win bids to buy homes, which is definitely a turnaround from 4 or 5 years ago. But interest rates and affordability is also going to affect this game going forward. So essentially, every percentage point that an interest rate rises, it affects your affordability, your purchasing power by 10 to 11%. So for example, I have some round numbers, and this is talking about the payment that you can afford. So if you had a 3% interest rate on a 30-year loan, which you could have gotten a few years back, and your loan amount was $226,000, so right about two and a quarter, your principal and interest payment would have been about $954, $955 a month. So that doesn't include taxes and insurance. That will vary by the house and the market, but $955 a month for about a two and a quarter loan. At 4%, so 1% higher, to keep your payment about $955 a month, you can only afford a $200,000 mortgage. So you've dropped $25,000 in affordability on your loan amount, and more even than that on your purchase price, just because of the interest rate hike. If rates were to go to 5%, and I can tell you today rates are 4.5% on a 30-year conventional loan, and if we're expecting two more rate hikes by the end of the year, which is the guidance the Fed is currently giving, then that would be 5% by the end of the year. So if rates go to 5%, to keep your payment at about $955 a month, you would only be able to afford a mortgage of $178,000. That's a $48,000 difference from 26 at 3% down to 178 at 5%. So obviously that means you're bringing a lot more money to the table to buy the same house, or you're buying a smaller house or with features that aren't quite what you were looking for. Now, this is a double whammy for you as buyers right now because prices are rising, as we know. So with less inventory, supply and demand, prices are going up. So prices are going up, your payment is going up, and if you want to keep it the same, you're having to do so by buying less house. Obviously, this is a tricky thing for buyers. On the seller side, this is going to affect you too because you're putting your house on the market at the peak that we've had in years. So great, good for you. But you have to move somewhere as well. Let's assume you have to buy a home once you sell this. A lot of sellers right now are holding their home off the market, which is a double whammy on the lack of inventory because we need them to list their homes, and they're hesitating because they can't see somewhere else that they want to go to live, so they're waiting. Well, by waiting, they are also going to be hit by the higher interest rates when they go to buy a home, so they're going to be able to afford less. And buyers, since they can afford less, are going to be pulling back in the buying pool and buying smaller homes, which will affect the pricing of those homes. So eventually the sellers are going to be, probably you'll see them start to reduce their prices, and at least the price increases will increase at a slower rate at first before they really flatten off. But that is coming down the pike, just supply and demand, and if the rates continue to go up, that's what we expect in the longer term. But in the midterm right now, it's just really tricky out there. Really what you need to have is a plan. You need to know what you can afford, what kind of home you're looking for, and the likelihood of you being able to find that kind of home at the current pricing versus 6 months from now when your rate is higher and your payment is higher, and can you really afford that type of home then as well, or maybe less so, and now is more the time to buy, even if you have to pay a little bit of a premium for it. So if you are thinking of buying or selling either in 2018 or 2019, give me a call, chat with Chris, and we'll figure out a game plan going forward. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.